obviously there's an opportunity to go all over the country to build startups, but I really love Georgia just because of the fact that Georgia probably has one of the largest set of universities around a city. So, not only tapping into Georgia Tech, but there's SCAD, there's KSU, there's Georgia State, any number of universities. So when you're looking for great talent, I think Georgia has probably the highest density of skills, labor in this area, especially around technology and user interface and game design. So made a lot of sense to start the company here and continue to keep it here, because I think that, especially as we're getting past the pandemic and we get back to meeting up face to face, it's always great to be able to connect with young talent and bring them on board and help grow the company that way.
Once I graduated with my computer science degree and I could, qualify to do anything computer related, I still wanted to stick with the Georgia area. At least like my initial plan was just to get my feet wet, because Georgia had a lot of prominent game studios, like hearing about the stories and the accolades of Tripwire and Hi-Rez, and me joining the different communities of like GGBA, IGDA, and like all of the programs that I jumped into, and the people that I experienced things with the game jams and everything. I kind of initially started just from a familiarity standpoint, but once I actively started working and I started coming up with my own ideas, and I started exploring the idea of starting my own studio, I stayed in Georgia for like the tax breaks and the extra support that I would have with starting my own like small business, since Hiccup Interactive is an LLC, and with me supporting myself and doing a lot of stuff, it allowed for a lot of extra support that I don't think I would have initially gotten going to like traditional heavy tech states.
I think the fifth grade Jeffrey would probably never have foreseen him working in the VR industry in Georgia, because he used to play a lot of those point and click video games, but now he's making games that is so immersive that you can see the world all around you in 360 and interact with the world. And just with Pulseworks, the company has sites all over the U.S., and it's incredible just seeing the reach that a company here in Georgia can actually have.
Definitely being a game dev in Georgia is not only possible, but I think it's thriving, and a lot of people just don't realize how big of a potential that there is here in Georgia, as well as being from Georgia and freelancing and type of work. Everything always feels like you're outside looking in sometimes, especially with a lot of rural, counties and towns. But you really can be a part, given if you're able to have the tools and opportunities in front of you.
Well, every community's got gamers, and I've been around for a couple of years there. I actually worked for a company, GameStop. For them, I was actually what was called a store opening coordinator, and I would go around opening stores and stuff. I only did that for a couple of years, but what I did find out, it took me around several places: Jessup, Georgia; Tifton, Georgia; Moultrie, and then I had to go to Florida go to Jacksonville and go to Lake City, Florida. And so all these little towns, what you find out when you go to these places and you set these stores up and you hire people is there are gamers everywhere. And a lot of them, they start off, they want to get into it. Maybe they don't have a school to go to, but they don't know where to go. And so places like GameStop is a start, or at least it used to be. And so they would go there and they show up. They'd want to work there and stuff. And so every community has gamers, and those who want to learn will show up. And you really don't have to work too hard to advertise. really you just once word of mouth starts getting out that there's a game design program, that it's kind of like a virus. It kind of spreads out, and everyone starts showing up. The ones that I do get are very hardcore about it. They practice. When they go home, they give up that 2 hours of gaming and instead jump on their computer and 3D model and 3D animate, or use the Unreal Engine to do some stuff. So I found I've had a good cluster of kids over the years.
So being a game developer in Georgia, I really enjoy because, one, I really love the South. I love the area. I live in Marietta, and I'm really close to everything I want to get to. And there's just a hub of a lot of talented people and all different disciplines. And I really like that. And the cost of living is great in Georgia. And I feel like, Georgia, around the Atlanta area is just growing, and eventually will become, even a better place for making entertainment than California.